Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. This is Sports Adda Live. We are back with another preview of the India versus England Test match. A very important day for us, Salil. What's your take on what transpired in the last session today, and what's your preview for the entire day today?
Well, I think the pitch played to whatever it was supposed to do yesterday and be a brilliant batting pitch for all the batsmen. You could see that with how India and its tailenders set up a decent target of 368, and at the same time you had the English openers fighting back and not giving away any kind of wickets, but also scoring at a decent rate to for the start of an innings. I mean, they're playing at around 2.41, so I think that's good for a start. I think they would want to really continue. As you see, Haseeb Hamid here is on 43 not out. I think he's taken those chances, hit those boundaries when they came, and I think they're picking up their singles also really well. And that I think pretty much will be the tone for today, purely because England would really like to go for a victory. Although there has been in the recent past when they were playing with New Zealand, there was this match at Lords where England really scored 30 runs in the mid-session. So, and they actually kind of parked the bus. But I don't think England would do that now, purely because they have 10 wickets in hand and the pitch is good to bat on. Maybe they might want to play a little faster than they are doing right now, and they'll get in the groove today. I think yesterday was more about not losing wickets and giving India the stronghold. But I think they would really want to go for a victory here. They'll see how the first two sessions go, and accordingly, either they just dig it in and tend it out and go for a draw, or it'll really turn out into a T20 game towards the last 1 hour with the likes of Bairstow, Ollie Pope, and Moeen Ali. So this quite an exciting day, and you don't know what to expect today.
Yeah, absolutely, an exciting day ahead. A lot to talk about. But whatever little bowling India have done, whatever 30 odd overs they have bowled, we have seen Jadeja doing chunk of the bowling. You have been talking throughout the entire course of the Test match that how important spin will play a part, especially on day 4, day 5. Yesterday we didn't really see Jadeja getting that sort of a turn, but was it because maybe the ball was comparatively new, and also since the innings break, the wicket was rolled over using a hard ruler. So do you think that was the reason? And today you expect Jadeja to get a lot more purchase than he actually got yesterday?
Well, it's not like a rank turner like you get in India, where the entire pitch turns out to be something of a turner. This is more of the turn which he'll get out of the rough, which I think Moeen Ali or Joe Root were not able to extract purely because they're mostly bowling to right-handed batsmen. So Jadeja, irrespective of whether it's a right-handed or a left-handed batsman, we would surely be going for the rough, which the right-arm fast bowlers have created. And I think that is where the turn will come from, and that is where the doubt that needs to be created in a batsman's mind, whether to fish for it or whether to defend it or let it go or kick it out, will always arise. So I think that element of surprise would be there. I think what's happened way in the past, I think around 1990, where you had one Indian bowler, Narendra Hidwani. I think he was the one who bowled 59 overs on the trot at and I think he was bowling at one end. I think Jadeja might have to bowl a chunk of these overs, at least 25 to 30 of them, while the fast bowlers really recuperate at one end and come for short spells of 4 or 5 overs and just keeping it tight, making sure that they're not leaking out enough runs because there's not much lateral movement of the pitch, so they're not really expecting a wicket out of their bowling. So it's more to do with the batsman making those mistakes. So I think that will be kind of the strategy for India. It should revolve around Ravindra Jadeja. The pitch will definitely give him some purchase points. He will always pitch it in the rough wherever possible, and that might just create that wicket opportunity to firstly slow down England and two to give some hope to India, which they don't currently have in the second innings.
Yeah, I mean, you spoke about India strategy. We come to England now. They have certainly started aggressively. They have started well. They haven't lost any wickets. To get about 290 odd runs in the entire day, which is 90 overs, is certainly England's game at this point of time. But do you think the middle order, after Joe Root, number 4, 5, 6, certainly a worrisome factor for England, which will be there in the back of their mind?
Well, I think they wouldn't be thinking with that kind of approach if you really want to go ahead and win a test match. I think they're going to stick to their guns. They know that the pitch is really good to bat on. So I don't think the hole in the middle order would make a big difference because by taking India's examples, all the guys who, except for Rahane, They all ended up scoring a lot of runs. So I don't think they have that doubt. They wouldn't go with that doubt. I think what they would like to do is for Rory Burns and Haseem Hamid to ensure that they take the next 1 hour, maybe play at a 2.5 to 3 run rate. And I think then the players coming after that, maybe Joe Root can anchor an innings because he's very good at rotating the strike and taking those singles we saw in the first innings where he quickly rushed, with a lot of runs with along with David Malan. So these guys are very good in picking those singles, which will be important to one to break the concentration of the bowler on an already bad pitch to bowl, and two, they would also be ticking the scoreboard, which every single will obviously count. It might tire the batsman a little bit, but a mix of that will make sure that the scoreboard also keeps ticking. And the more wickets you keep in hand towards the end of the day, I think you have the likes of those white ball players that you have, which will go and might as well try and score 120, 130 runs in the last session. So a lot of things that can actually happen today, Rishabh. And but I think both teams going for a victory will be an exciting day. The minute there will be any team, and maybe might around lunch we might get to know the intentions more clearly. That what do they want to do? Because if India think that they're not going to get the wickets, maybe the new ball is due in another 40 overs, which is mid lunch session. You again, that's a change of a situation. You know what a new ball has done. I mean, barring this second innings. So I think there we are with a lot of hope for some great cricket, and let's hope the best team wins.
Yeah, we are just about minutes away from start of play. You have had quite a great run with your predictions. Again, I'm just gonna ask you any predictions you have, any bowler you're expecting to take wickets first, and are we seeing any big score from any England batsman?
Well, I think from a bowling perspective, anybody who's really looked like taking a wicket can actually be Jasprit Bumrah. And maybe if the Jadeja factor comes into the play, maybe after the first hour, then Jadeja. But I think England would be easily scoring around 70 runs in this session.
So 70 for no loss. Is that what you're saying, or you will give India some hopes?
I think maybe a wicket or two, maybe a wicket, not more
So our
than that.
expert is clearly inching towards England as his favorite side, is what we can understand. But see you guys, everybody will be back in the lunch show. We hope India have a really good session. We hope we have an exciting day of Test cricket ahead of us. Thank you so much. This was Sports Adda Live.